at your leisure, you can you can go and read the session. So the recording has officially started, and we are now in phase 2, or rather part 2 of a day 1 training. So a couple of things. While people were pricing this, they've been sending me WhatsApp messages showing me screenshots of where they are struggling. I think that's very important information. So I think let's just make sure that we're all in the same page. A couple of things that people were struggling with. One, when they drop down from service category to trade category to trade subsection, some of the data did not display, and it's almost as if the rates were not in the system. So as they did that on other I think trades as well and sub trades, the same thing was happening where the data was not displaying. Now, just to correct this, the data is there, but because the quick search function is relatively new and the guys are still working on it, what we've done is we've taken your screenshots, we've taken your feedback, and we've given it to IT guys, and the IT guys are busy working on it right now. So I think that before end of business, that will be done. But in the interim, to make sure that we get the full value for the exercise, we're now going to switch gears a bit, and we're now going to price using what we call importing a tender. This is the traditional method that I think the customers that have been with us the longest will know we usually use. And we're going to take the same BOQ and we're going to price it using tender importation. And with that, I just want you to check whether or not the rates are still there. I'm 100% confident that all the rates are there. It's just the method that we were using, because it's new, it was struggling to just keep up with our requests. So I'm just going to share my screen quickly. And I'm going to, can you see my screen? Just type yes on the chat box if you can see my screen, so that I can, yeah, Alistair is saying yes. I'm just I'm waiting for a second person to confirm. Once we have two, that means that we are good to go. Okay, no said yes. Okay, cool. Habedi said yes, sure. So let's price using tender importation. I'm just gonna log in. And from there, so instead of you going to quick search, I'm going to skip quick search. I'm going to skip RFQ. I'm going to go straight to tender. So let's press tender. So what is this tender? I am in Randburg. So I'm going to call it Northgate Office Park no renovations. Number is SCM002. This is obviously as per tender advert. When was it advertised? On Tuesday. When is it closing? On the 17th. We're given 2 full weeks to price this one. Who's the client? I'm going to call it UMSO Facilities Management. Right. Who's the estimator? Lunga. And the region is Gauteng. And then the work category is general buildings, and under general buildings, I'm just going to go to general building again. So this is how you populate your just your information sheet. Very basic: tender name, reference number, advert date, closing date, client name, estimator yourself, region depending on the province, and sometimes it can be Namibia for us who tender outside the country. Work category is general buildings, and then it's general buildings again, and I click on submit. Right. So when I'm here on submit, my tender falls right up at the top, just like I populated it. And the action that I have to take now is start pricing. Right. So in start pricing, you'll see a different screen from the quick search. This is rather a longer route, but it's a very, very detailed route. And I think one of the guys actually priced using this method earlier, and then they quickly finished their bill. So here it's import BOQ, upload BOQ. So you just click on select BOQ file. My BOQ, there it is, building renovations. Then I click on open. Then I click on upload. Once I click on upload, I just scroll down with my mouse until I find next. I click on next. And usually, we know our BOQ has P's and G's section. So here is where we select P's and G's. But however, if you look at our sheets, you've got ceilings, ironmongery, electrical, concrete, waterproofing, masonry, mechanical work, and tiling. We don't have um, P's and G's, so we just select next. If we had P's and G's, we're gonna click on that P's and G's and then save, right? Then what we do here, we're just matching now what is on the column name of our BOQ to what is on the headings of our system. So the system headings are as follows: item number, activity description, unit, quantity, rate, and amount. So on the Excel sheet, you've got item. So we match that with item number. We've got description. We match that with activity description. We've got unit. We match that with unit. We've got QTY. We match that with quantity. We've got rate. We match that with rate. We've got amount. We match that with amount. So here, this is where I need to just emphasize a very important point. The point here is that you need to make sure that when you format your Excel sheet, the columns that come out clearly and the content is such that when you come at this particular part of your importing, you can match item number with your column name, activity with column name, unit with column name, quantity with column name, rate with your column name, amount with column name. What you are telling the system to do is that when it extracts the data from your Excel sheet, this is how it must treat the content on each column. Once that is done, you just press next. It will ask you, are you sure you are satisfied with the column matching and the BOQ uploaded? The next step will process your BOQ and launch an online BOQ version. If we are happy with this, we just press next. Right. Now we've pressed next and we see that, oh, okay, the entire contents of our Excel sheet have now been imported into this online BOQ. This section is just preview, don't confuse it, so that we make sure that the content is matching. Whatever we have on our Excel sheet is matching with the content here. If the content is not matching, you can just re-import and repeat the process. But let's assume that it's matching. You go to number 2. You're done with number 1. Now, tender pricing. You click on it. When you click on tender pricing, you can see now you need to price ceilings, ironmongery, electrical work. It's a whole lot, right? So the quickest way to price here is what we call Automatch, right? So you just click on Automatch rates. What the system does is it reads the rates description, it goes inside the database, and then it returns matching descriptions. I'm going to choose 100% here. What 100% simply means is that read the entire description, full description, word for word, and return something that is matching word for word. Now, this is important because sometimes when whoever is compiling a BOQ compiles it, they will write a standard description of an item, but add a prefix or a suffix. For example, they would say, let's look at this particular item. 50 millimeter insulation in blanket from closely fitted and laid, blah blah blah. And then this is the standard description, right? Then they will say in the second floor of the East Wing building. So you can tell that the description is a standard description, but now because they've added in the second floor, the system does not know the second floor, but what it knows is that that is what you need to do as an activity. So if we go 100% here and we're saying match word for word, right? It will return the matching rate. If it does not pick it up, then we can go to 70%. So it reads the entire description, but that extra, let's say 2 or 3 words, it won't pick them, but it will say this is matching, right? What we know is that in terms of the rate, it won't change. It's just that the description based on that particular project, someone added something. But in terms of the activity, in terms of the resources, in terms of the rates, everything is the same. So we don't panic. So that is how the accuracy works. So now that we've matched everything, you can just uncheck this because this is just a title. Uncheck if you want. You go here, this is a title as well. You uncheck it and you've got all your rates here. Then you click on accept the selected rates. Once you click on accept the selected rate, you can see this entire sheet is priced automatically. So you've got your rates, you've got the amount. Just rate is quickly multiplied by the quantity to give you the amount. Then you say save changes. Then immediately that is saved in the system. So that is how fast you can price this one. Once you are done, you can then go to adjustments. Here I'm going to skip, I'm going to say 0 here, 0 here. I'm going to add 15% on my profit margin. Then I'm going to apply it, and you can see here that it has been adjusted up. My rates have been adjusted up, and so are my amounts because my rate has been adjusted. So this is how the searching for rates using rate importation works. So let's proceed to other items, right? Automatch. So we're doing the same thing. So it's clearing the previous search. It's now putting new data. See, someone was complaining about hinges and bolts. Everything is here. You can then select up there. Then you just deselect where you know that, okay, fine, this is just a heading, right? So you can see the rates are inside the system, but the method that we're using earlier, because it's relatively new, it just needs to be fine-tuned. From there on, we are good to go. But this method, 100% works. Everything has been matched. You click on accept selected rates, and you can see everything has been priced for us. We go to save changes. Then we just go to adjustments. Here, I'm going to put a material discount of 10%. I'm going to say I own 0% plant. So I'm going to add my profit margin of 15%, or rather 17%. Then it will adjust all my rates up by 1.115. And you can see my rates are adjusted up, and so are my amounts. So like I said, this now, remember your adjustments, your material discount depends on how well you negotiate with your supplier. We cannot describe or we cannot guide you there because it's how you manage your relationships. Number two, your profit margin, anything between 25%, you can select there, but also it's your discretion as the bidder on how you want to do that because you know your markups. We go to electrical works, same thing. So we're just doing the same thing repeatedly now. It clears the previous search, it gives you a new search. So let's just wait. There you go. So you can just click on that one. And I'm just going to pause and check the chat so that I know. Apologies, have an emergency in the plant. Will attend again Friday. Okay, cool. That's just Petronella. But insofar as everyone else, I think we're still fine. So let's proceed. So as you can see, everything has been matched. So that you click accept selected rates. There you have it. You click on save. And then you, sorry, no auto match, made a mistake. You click on adjustment. Here, what am I pricing? Sorry, I am pricing electrical works, right? So what I'm going to do, because I know that I'm outsourcing electrical works, right? So most of my money is going out. I'm not going to give a discount on material. I'm not going to give anything on plant, but on my profit margin, I'm going to add 30%. The reason why I'm adding 30%, again, it's my discretion, but for your information is that I'm going to outsource this. So the money is going to go out from my company. At least what needs to remain are my profit margins. That's why I'm pushing my profit margins up by 30% because I'm outsourcing. At least I need to make money. So I'm going to press apply. Then it adjusts accordingly, right? And then I go to my concrete. Say I am strong in concrete. I've got good relationships with my supplier for concrete works. I don't have plant, but I know that in terms of relationships, I can receive very good discounts, and I know the batch concrete batch plant manager. So once I negotiate with them, then I can say, okay, fine. What I'm going to do is I'm going to search first so that I can find my rates, and then click on accept, right? And after that, I'm just going to save quickly. When I do my adjustment, because I have a relationship, my supplier will tell me that, you know what, I can give you a 10% discount. So I can put 10% here. Plant ownership is fine. And just for information, when we say plant ownership, this is what we mean. The rates in the system assume that most of your resources will be hired. So that is what you see as a base rate. Once you do get a base rate, your responsibility as the estimator or the bidder is to customize your base rates according to how you work, right? So what do we mean by that? When we say customize, you customize here in adjustment. If you know that you have a material discount, put it in. That is your competitive advantage. If you know that instead of hiring plants, which is more expensive than plant ownership, maybe you say, I own, in this activity called concrete, I own, let's say, tools and equipment, including plants. I own 35% of the plants, total plants that are used in this. The rest of the 65%, I'm going to hire out. I put that in there because I know that will make my work a bit cheaper than someone else who is hiring out. Then my profit margins here, I'm going to make them 5%. Why am I doing that, right? Remember, I've already given a discount. Then I've given a plant ownership. So it means I already have money. Then my profit margins, I'm making them low so that I can be competitive here because I know that I specialize in concrete works. So my rates here are going to be lower than my next competition. Then the rates you see, they go down here. Right. So again, it depends on your competitive advantage. If you don't have a competitive advantage, let's just reset, go back to the base rates, which you can see there. Then let's just go to adjustment. You can put zero. You put zero here. Then you just put your, let's say, 20%. Then they'll be adjusted up by 1.2. As you can see, they're adjusted up, right? Once that is done, I go to my waterproofing. So I'm going to do the same thing over and over until I get everything right, right? So let's just quickly go to that. Now I'm assuming that by the time I'm getting to tiling and waterproofing and everything else, you already have a gist of what's happening here. Remember to click on this particular box, the blue box there, next to BOQ item, so that it checks everything out. Then you start following here. It's zero. Why is it zero? Oh, this is a title. It's not an item. If it does not have a unit, it means that it's not an item, it's a title. Remember? Here you see, there you go. There you go. Everything checks out. Then I click accept rates. Right? Then from there, save changes. Remember to save changes. And then I do my adjustment, 0, 0. Then I make this one 18.5%. Then everything is adjusted up by 18.5%. Masonry, I'm going to do the same thing. Automatch. It clears the previous search. It gives you the new search. You click on that blue box. You start looking at this. This is a this is a title, not an item. Title, not an item. Title, not an item. Everything else are now items because they've got what we call a description and a unit. If it has a description and a unit, it means it's an item. If it has just the description, it doesn't have the unit, it means it's a title. So I say accept, then I've priced everything here. Wait a minute, I haven't priced this one. It says 1.5 brick walls. I can do a couple of things there. One brick wall is 104.35. So 1.5 brick wall, I can actually double click like this. Double click on the side, it's gonna show one. I can just backspace. Then I can add it on my own and say 1.5 can give me, I'm gonna charge the client, let's say 125 rands. Then I say enter. You see, I've actually inserted my own price. Here's what happens now. If I click save changes, it has picked up that I have added a rate manually. So it wants me to save it in my own database, not in the system's database. It's going to be saved in your profile so that next time you want something, it's going to be in your profile. So ultimately, if you start doing this for a long time, you're going to have your own database in your profile and you're going to have another one in the system. So we go to masonry, right? Because that's what we're pricing. And then we press save, right? Once you've saved that, you can see everything is priced. Then we can do adjustments, right? 0, 0. I'm going to say 25% here. Then I'm press apply, right? Then I'm going to say mechanical. Almost done. I'm going to pause here. I'm going to check on the chat box. Okay, we're still fine, right? Then let's proceed. Automatch again. So you do the same thing repeatedly. Everyone says this is the fastest. If you are pricing a very lengthy BOQ, but the work is gonna be introduced tomorrow. So I need to click on the blue box first. Then I need to uncheck that, because it's just a title. And then I'm gonna say accept. Once I accept, it's appended there. Save changes. I'm gonna go to adjustment. I'm gonna say 0, 0. It's mechanical work. I'm going to add 30%. What's my reasoning? I'm gonna outsource mechanical work, so therefore I need to have at least a bit more fat on the profit margins, so that at least I can make money for the business. Apply adjustments, and there you go. It's adjusted. Tiling, the last one. Automatch tiling. I can get tilers in house. It's fine. So it clears the previous search, it brings you the new search, right? There you go. I press on the blue box and everything is fine. I then click on accept rates, right? So I've accepted the rate, save changes. Then I go to my adjustments. I'm gonna put 5% discount here, because I have a relationship with my tiler supplier, so I can apply a 5% discount so that I can beat my competitor who I'm bidding with, right? Plant ownership here. I don't need plant here. I just need tools and equipment, and they are fairly cheap. So I can say, okay, fine. You know what? I own 80% of the tools that I used here. If I own 80% of the tools, then I'm going to bring down my profit margins here, because in any event, I'm going to be making a lot of money here. Then I'm going to say apply adjustments, right? I've applied that. So there you go. So I've priced ceilings, ironmongery, electrical work, concrete, waterproofing, masonry, mechanical, tiling. Then I can just simply go to my summary. My summary shows me something interesting. So you can see these are all your sections that you've been pricing. These are unadjusted totals. These are your base totals, right? Then it shows you your adjustments in terms of material, plant, and profit margin. Then from there, it shows you your adjusted totals. And this is what you're going to be offering to your client. Once you're done with this, you can just simply go to detailed preview and export. Great. So what the system does, it goes the second thing that it's checking too, have you added markups in all your items? If you have not done that, it will tell you that, listen, go back and adjust this. But if you want to continue anyway, you can continue, but it will warn you that your final offer is provided no. And that I'm going to waterproofing. So I click on X, then I go back to tender pricing. Let's just give it a second. Sorry about this. Network is starting to be a challenge. Okay, cool. So we go to waterproofing. There's something that I have not priced here. Let's see what is. Oh, there you go. You see, high modular $50. And I'm gonna adjust it. Effect of done the adjustment. I'm gonna go there and save. This is my rate, remember? So the system is saying that where do I want to save it? Because I've added it manually. So let's just give it some time for it to load. Uh, let's do it again. Sorry about this. General buildings. I'm gonna save this one under tiling. Where's tiling? There you go. Saved. Right. Cool. So my assumptions that I'm done. If I'm not done, I can just simply click on detailed preview and export, and it will tell me what I haven't done. It says you have not under waterproofing. All rates are provided, but you have not applied adjustment. I go to X again, back. So you see, this helps us because we're pricing very fast. We're under a lot of pressure. We can miss certain things. So I just go to adjustment, 0, 0, then I put 15, then I apply. Right. Then I go to my detailed preview, and now it's showing me that I can preview. So if you go to detailed preview, this is masonry. This is waterproofing. Then in fact, let me just export so that we can see everything. Once you export to PDF, you click open. Here is your tender document priced. Can you see it? Let's check the chat box. Network problem on our side. That is no. Can you see the final BOQ that is shown on the screen? If you can see it, just type yes, please. Okay, Nono says yes. Okay, I need a second person. Okay. So that said, just go on. Just trying to answer another customer trying to log in. Cool. So with that said, that is how, sorry. No, it's not the right screen. There you go. That's how you conclude your pricing using, what's the word? Using importing your BOQ. So it's relatively fast, especially you have a lot of rates. You can just simply just price using this one instead of searching rates one at a time or two at a time. So in my mind, and obviously I'm open for you guys to experience it yourself and tell us what you think. If you've already priced something and you're missing a couple of rates, the quick search option is actually the most preferred, because already you have something, you're just adding whatever is missing. But if you have a new BOQ that you have not priced, you can convert it into Excel and then just start sending it through. So all of this is there, and I think it's 1.5. Yeah, 1.5. That's your final rate. And remember here, once you've got your final cost at the bottom, you just add your VAT, and then you just, if there's a contingencies or CPAs, you just add that, and then you can conclude just like that. And that is how we price using importation. Right. So before I take in questions, let's just go back a bit. Okay, everyone can see it, right? So if can we start taking questions now, right? You can unmute and just ask your question so that we can attend to it, or you can type, either or, as depending on how comfortable you are. You can just ask your questions. Whatever method of questioning, or you can just send me a WhatsApp message as well. I'll answer it publicly. Are we fine? So the guys that drop and come back on the meeting are guys that are struggling with network. So don't be alarmed by the few numbers that we have here. We all know that load shedding is a big problem in our country. So let's see what happens. So I'm going to stop sharing now. Stop presenting. I'm going to start taking questions. And remember, when I take questions, or rather, if you don't ask questions, I'm assuming that you understood everything. And if you did understand everything, then we can just go ahead and price using pricing by importation.
Mr. Lunga,
I think Nono is trying to speak. Just hang on.
can you hear me?
No, go ahead.
Yeah, network is not good on my side, but I'll just try because I just want to understand this from the very first beginning. Ne? We
Okay.
go. I'll try to go through. Then you will. You may interrupt or come in between and advise if I've got the steps because somewhere I got lost. Yes, they importing the BOQ, right, or adding a new tender document. Ne?
Okay. So maybe
We
let's do this, Nono.
Yes.
In fact, for everyone's benefit, have you logged into the system?
Yes, I'm in.
So why can't you share your screen and do it while we all see?
Okay, let me
Cool.
try
Yeah,
that.
just share your screen. Yeah, and then we can all see how you are learning. And I think in the process of doing that, everyone will be comfortable, because sometimes if I am the facilitator going through it, it's very different from an attendee going through it. See what I mean? So I'm just gonna unmute. Um, no, you can just go ahead.
So how do I share my screen first?
Let
How
me.
do I go about it?
Cool. So you see, on your laptop, there
Yes,
are buttons there at the bottom, right, where you switch off your mic and switch off your video, right? Hello?
yes, I see. Yes,
You
yes,
see?
I see.
So there's a square with an arrow at the top, facing top.
Oh, yes, yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes. Oh, present now.
present now. So it will give you three options: entire window, entire
Okay.
screen, window, or a tab. So just go to window.
So I click on the present now and then go
Yeah,
to window.
yes. And then
Okay.
it will show you all the windows that you have open. And then what you need to do now, you need to go and select that particular window that you want to share. And then you click on share.
Okay, okay. I'll get back to you. Let me see if I'm I'm able to do it.
Okay,
Otherwise,
cool.
I'll just write
No,
down
we're
like I was
here.
trying to. Yes,
No,
I'll try. I'll come
we
again.
are here. Just take
Okay,
your time, relax, and go
okay.
through it.
Thank you.
So it is present now. window. It shows you windows, and in the window that it will also show the meeting. Does it show?
Let me go to it. I'll tell you. It shows present your entire screen, a window, and a tab.
So you know what you do? Just say present your entire screen.
Okay.
So let's see what happens. Are you winning? Maybe it's a network challenge. Okay. Let me check on. Let me just check on. No, no. Let me just call her directly. Just a minute, guys. Sorry. Okay, I tried getting hold of Nona, but I think she has network problems and she has challenges sharing her screen. So, in the interest of time, I've asked her to just explain it verbally and take us through it. So, Nona, can you please unmute and just take us through the process? And I'll guide you where I think that you need to correct so that at least everyone can listen out to your processes and we take it from there. Go ahead, Nona. The floor is yours.
Thank, thank you, sir. Yes, I was saying where I was because somewhere I wasn't able to hear you due to network problem, but I'll just go it from the beginning where it says add new tender and add new BOQ. He said we obviously I'm going to log in. Okay, after logging in, I go to let me just go. Just can I go here? I'll go to tender. When I go to add new tender, it will open up that screen where I need to enter the tender number, the tender name, the reference number, which I believe it will be the tender number, and then the advertisement date, the closing date, who is the client. If it's Department of Education, I'll put Department of Education. The estimator, if it's myself, I'll put no. And the sorry.
Yes, go for it.
Okay.
Proceed.
Yes, if it's for Limpopo, for example, I will choose the region. The tender is for Limpopo, and then the category is general building. I'll do general building, and then where it says service, I'll do general building as well. Then I submit. Okay.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
that's fine.
Now, here's my question. Once I've submitted, because most of the BOQs doesn't come on Excel, right? It's on
Yeah,
PDF.
what's
So
your
my
question?
question would be, once I've submitted that, my question is, once I've went now to submit button, I will be able to get that BOQ of that particular tender.
Okay, so this is how it works, right? So you've clicked on submit right now. It says start pricing, right?
Yes,
So can
yes.
you please click on start pricing so that we can see, we can know the window that you are in.
Okay, just give me a minute.
It's a pity that you can't share your screen because it would be very beneficial for everyone to actually go through this thing. Okay, you know what I'm going to do now? I'm going to share my screen, right? And I'm going to do it again so that at least as you are talking, you are guiding me, right? So I'm going to go log in. Then I'm going to go tender. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Cool. What should I add? Department of Education, right? Oh, sorry. I'm just going to say any school. I'm going to say Pretoria High Renovations, right? SEM 002. Add the dates here. Closing date. There, you're still following, right? And you said Department of Education. And I want to say no here. And it's Pretoria, so it's Gauteng. It's general buildings. General buildings. Click on submit. Right. Are you still following?
Yes.
It says then the action is start pricing, right? Then yeah, here. So what's your question here? Because I think
Sorry, I
that's where
forgot to unmute myself. Yes. My question here was, will the BOQ then be uploaded here? Or
this is
am
where you
I
upload it, right? So let's start.
okay?
So you can see it says import, it said upload, then it said select it, right?
Okay.
Let's click on select. Then there it is. So where you find it is where you would have saved it if you receive it via email or whatever. Where you find this is just on your laptop, right?
So if I saved it on my on my laptop, I'll find it on my laptop.
You yeah, boom,
Then
yeah,
I'll go and
that's
select it and upload it
and upload
or
it, right?
import it. Okay.
Yeah, it's here and it the button says upload. Then you click on upload, right?
Okay.
Then there it is, right? So and then you scroll down and you click on next.
Okay.
You still following?
I'm following.
Cool. Here, usually, obviously, we know that we have P's and G's, right? But in this one in particular, there isn't. If there was P's and G's, we'll just indicate P's and G's like that. Then we'll click on save. But there isn't any P's and G's, right? You can
Can
just,
I interrupt, Mr.
yeah,
Lunga?
yeah,
If
cool.
there's PNGs, will it be
They'll,
what do you
they'll be
call
shown here, right, as part of
it? Okay,
your
because
sheets,
I've
right?
uploaded the whole BOQ.
Exactly.
Perfect. No, I
it will
think
be
I'm answered now because
cool.
that's
Then
where
you
my
click on
question was. Yes.
cool. Let's click on next. So here you're just matching your columns, right?
Yes.
So this one you understand, right?
This one I'm okay. Yes.
Okay, let's just match. Wait, amount. Then I click next. Then it says it wants to launch. We say yes. Right. Then there you go. Right. When you are here, remember it's you see that blue button. It's highlight. It still says you are still import. You're not done importing yet. Right.
Yes.
It's just giving you a preview, right? So don't be scared. You can see, as you see that you can't start pricing it. It's because you have not clicked here yet. So once you
Okay.
click here, then all these buttons will start showing, right? Then from here on, you know what to do, right?
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
So are you fine here
I'm
so
okay.
far?
Yes, for now.
Okay,
I'm
cool.
okay
So
for now. Thank you. Thank you
if
so
that
much.
is clear, then I think everyone can see it. So with that said, I think as a whole, can we now please go and price that BOQ using, in fact, price both the building works as well as the sewer services, because I think you've got two. Price both of them. Remember to adjust them. Remember to export them. And please, when you export them, when you are done exporting, please send the exported PDF to info at the prm.co.za. Right. So let's give each other, it's now 11:38. Let's give each other until I think, let's say quarter past to 20 past 12. Remember, we're doing both sewer, I'm going to put it here, so sewer services and building renovations. Let's go for it, Tim. I'll see you back in plus minus 40 to 50 minutes. If you struggle, drop me a WhatsApp. Cheers.